Okay, so the next step is cutting this out. So if you're in the shop, you're going to use the bandsaw, and whenever you cut on the bandsaw, you're going to cut on the outside of the line. So that means the line, the pencil line, is part of the boat. And if you remove the pencil line, you are making the boat smaller. So you want to leave the pencil line, and you can leave, you know, a tiny amount, or you can leave a slightly bigger amount. It doesn't matter. It's pretty easy to get down to the line using some hand tools. Okay, so if you're at home, then you're going to use this. This is a coping saw, and this is a great way to cut curves by hand. This is exactly what this saw is made for. So, I'm just kind of lining up the blade right now, so it's pretty straight. Right, so I've got this nice and straight, and I'm going to show you how to cut this. So you're going to hang it over. Let's see, I'm going to have to take my word for it probably that I'm cutting on the outside of the lines, right? So I'm just kind of getting started. I have my piece of masonite to support the board, right? So this is such a small, tiny board that I don't even think you need this saw. I think you can do this with a utility blade. So what I'm going to do is just score this just a little bit bigger than the line, because I want to leave that line. So just score it, meaning you're scratching in to the wood, but not all the way through, just a thin little layer, right? And then you're going to go back and scratch another layer, until you're very close to all the way through, right? Can you see that? So now I'm just bending it over from the other side, and I'm going to cut through from this side. Ooh, that was easy, okay? So be very careful with your fingers, right? So I'm going to do this. I'm going to cut on the outside of the line. It's just like drawing with this blade. So I'm just drawing with the blade. You can use a box cutter. You can use an X-Acto knife, but this stuff is so thin, you don't even need a saw. So I'm just kind of scraping this down, right? Just a little at a time, cutting through layers, right? And then I can flip it over and see, well, not quite yet. It doesn't want to bend. I don't want to tear it because I don't, I don't want to damage the surface of the outside surface of the side of the boat. So I'm just cutting through it a little at a time until it comes away, and that's a nice clean cut. Okay, the only other thing I'm going to cut is this top line here. I'm not going to cut this bottom line, and I'll show you another way to get that. And if you were in the shop and you're using the bandsaw, you're not going to cut this with the bandsaw. Only the front, the back, and this outside top here. Okay, so I'm just going to very lightly scratch next to that line. I'm leaving my pencil line every time. So I'm leaving that pencil line in there. I drifted quite far from my pencil line right here. I'm like a full 1/8 of an inch away. That's okay. And I'm just starting to cut through a little at a time. Go back up here. Just keep going, keep scoring through that. You can turn it around and cut the other way too. If you want to cut from the other side, you will have had to draw it on both sides. Ooh, I got kind of crazy there and just scratched into the boat. So I stopped doing that. Okay, let's see where we're at. Okay, I can break that off. That's great. Now this one, I'm going to keep that one because I'm going to use it to make the other side. But now I've got this cut out. Yay! And see, I've got the lines. I left my lines, you can see. And it's not perfect at this point, but in the next video, I'll show you how to make it perfect.